It in style. Hi everybody, welcome in. This is Julie Max in the Maine Stamper, and I'm here for your weekly card class from Maine on Monday. And I like to say a little after 8 because I am never on time, as much as I struggle to be on time. It's 8:05, so I'm just fashionably 5 minutes late. So please, when you see and hear me, I know it takes a minute for Facebook to even spread this live into the world. Please let me know that you can see and hear me. I appreciate your comments. When I first see that that one person that says, "Hey, Julie, you're doing great." So hopefully I'm doing great. I am flying by the seat of my pants tonight. Hi, Jess and Kathy. Okay, so people are saying hi. I love it. I love having you guys hanging out with me. Thanks, Kathy. I got like a shorter ponytail here. I got my hair cut. Hi, Kelly. It's good to see you on here too. I know from earlier it seemed like you were looking forward to our Christmas labels bundle card class. Hi, Patty. Good to see you. So this is all about the Christmas labels bundle, which is sentiment only. Kathy, you just make my day all the time. Christmas labels is a sentiment only bundle, and there's some really great dies. There are 4 dies. Hi, Michelle. I hope you're feeling better. There's 4 dies with this bundle, and the dies really go with anything, right? They're kind of like anything type of dies, but I'm going to share with you why the stamp set that goes with this is so fantastic. Now, my hope is always maybe futile, but I hope that these dies hang out a little bit longer. Hi, Barbara and Donna. Because I hope that Stampin' Up comes out with a generic stamp set that will go with these dies. Now, you're gonna know what I'm talking about as soon as I get over to my workspace and start showing you how these sentiments fit into the dies so perfectly. It's like a match made in heaven. So we are doing a Christmas card class because I am all about Christmas now, 24/7. I have my Christmas music playing pretty much all the time while I do a live. I keep it low, so maybe you hear it, maybe you don't, but it makes me happy. We're going to get over to my workspace. We're going to talk about my card class offer for this week. Stamp sale. There's a stamp sale this week if you're just tuning in and you haven't heard the news. It started today, so there's only 2 more days left, Tuesday and Wednesday. The stamp sale is on the annual catalog single stamps. I mean, any stamp is a single stamp. Take it out of a bundle, it's a single stamp. And if you're not sure which ones are on sale, if you go to the online store and you click on specials and you click on stamp sale, every stamp that's on sale is going to come up. You're going to see that slashed out price with the sale price. That will expire Wednesday evening, so you want to make sure you're hitting up that sale to check out in case there's anything that you haven't purchased yet that you absolutely love. Now, spoiler alert, tonight's card class, 3 out of 4 cards I'm actually going to use a stamp set that is on sale. So I'm taking the oldies from the annual catalog and I'm using them in my Christmas cards. My hope is to inspire you to, hi Lynn, from Southern New Jersey. I'm so glad you're joining. My hope is to inspire you to grab out supplies that you already own and use them on my card kits or use my card sketches as ideas so that you can, you don't have to necessarily buy the latest and greatest if you don't want to. Use what you have. So I'm going to show you that as we get going on my card class too. I'm really excited about this one. I'm always excited, but I'm really excited to bring you extra value. And I feel like this card class is going to do that. So let me flip over to my workspace. I think everything is good. I'm going to just like slide this up a little bit. I got to keep an eye on myself because I might be sliding down too far. I hate when I do that because then you can't see me. All right, transitioning over. Here we go. I'm going to move my slide this way. Here we go. We're centered right now. Let's hope we stay centered. Christmas labels stamp set. So we have all sentiments as mentioned. There's some cute ones in here too. Not just your typical Merry Christmas. There are a varying amount of sentiments. I actually mounted every one of these up because I want to show you how they work with these labels dies. My labels dies need a magnet sheet, which I will put behind here. So you can get this as a bundle, 4 dies. And you can see here that when I say labels dies, if you can fit a sentiment in these, you have a die for all seasons, which I absolutely adore. They're just beautiful. I can't wait to show you. So on page 40, you're going to get a good look at these in the annual catalog, Christmas labels. It shows you up here too. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Light bulb moment. I'm wondering if I did these right. I actually stamped all these because I wanted to show you how they worked, and now I look at this a little bit closer and I see how the sentiments are going to fit in. I'm gonna grade myself later. I'm just going to set this aside for right now. but not too far for some of this. Okay, so dies. We have this really fancy die with the swirlies in it. Mine has a little bit of white and blue in it because I haven't cleaned it up quite recently. We've got 4 of these dies. So let's see what we got here. This is the swirly die. And you're going to see that there's slits in these, so you could sneak some ribbon through if you wanted to. Now, I didn't do that for my cards, but you certainly could. This one I adore. This one's got little arrows pointing kind of north, south, east, west, but they're pointing toward the center. Kind of die cut in, which I think is adorable. So this one has Celebrate the Holidays. This is this die right here. There's actually 3 sentiments that work really, really well on each of these. Hopefully I'm making sense here as I go. This one says it's a hot cocoa day. Super cute, really going to be awesome on your your snowman cards, your snowflake cards, things like that, right? Besides the obviously hot cocoa and gingerbread and all that good stuff. This one says Merry Christmas to you, very classic. Celebrate the holidays in all the ways. So these 3 stamps, hopefully you can see this. When you stamp them, they stamp perfectly, they line up perfectly in one stamp to catch all of these layers of this die piece. And I think that is the most fantastic thing almost like ever. So there's those 3. Let's bring in the big guy. This is the biggest one. And I have used this a little bit before. Now I didn't bother to get all these little fancy cuts out because I was just practicing. This one says, hope your season is filled with magic. I want you to know there's like a little bit of a slant on where this goes on here, which kind of, if you stamp crookedly, this is great because you're automatically supposed to stamp at an angle. Here's Winter Wishes, and the other one that fits on here beautifully is Love and Joy, which I think is really awesome. So there's the 3 that go with this one. And then we've got this one, which kind of reminds me of an emblem, maybe that goes on like a Chevy truck or something, right? It's a Chevrolet emblem. I'm not sure. I'm really bad with that. But here's Swedish Sugar Plum Candy. We have Peace on Earth, and I haven't been mentioning, but each of these has little like pop away places where you could put your ribbon down through if you so desired, right? So you can kind of wrap your ribbon through if you want to, giving you some ideas, hopefully. Peace on Earth fits on there very nicely. And then I did Warm and Cozy. So I did those 3 on that one. And lastly, we have this one. This one actually might be my favorite. It is very fancy. So it's got these really great little curved edges to it. Of course, I love the Believe, right? So again, all kinds of places you can pop ribbon through, but Believe fits on there nicely. To You fits on there nicely, and Be Merry. And I did these, if you're looking at my sentiments here, and they're a little bit light, I actually did them in basic gray to start out with. I made sure I scrubbed up my stamps, and I did them all on one sheet at one time because they're photopolymer. And out of the gate, photopolymer can kind of be a little fuzzy. So I cleaned them really well with my Stampin' Scrub. And then I inked them up in the basic gray. So the basic gray is kind of a you know, our water-based inks are just, they're nice and juicy, really. They stamp well. So I thought I'd do them all in basic gray, and I could also use these pretty much in anything. So there's kind of a tour of the dies. So that's all 4 of the dies. All of the sentiments are featured right here. So we kind of looked at all of them. Let's talk about our card class. So you're going to get some card kits if you're working with me this week. We've got, I'm going to pop them over here one at a time, so you can take a little peek of what's going on. So we've got some reds and some cherries and some mossy. We've got some blues and we got some greens. So this is the card class this week. You'll get this with your $40 order. I forgot to write my little paper down, so I don't have my paper down. $40 order with my host code. My host code is 99Q9KQ. EC. It is in an email. I'll put it into the comments later. My free gift this week is the silver and white ribbon. This is a sheer ribbon. This is actually one of my favorite ribbons. This is the little black dress of ribbons. It goes with everything. And when you're doing Christmas cards, you need that little bling. So this is a nice soft ribbon. It's easy to work with and it's not super bumpy. So you'll get a full bolt of this with your $50 order this week with me, plus the card kits. I'm using this ribbon actually only on 3 of 4 cards. You're going to see the 4th card. The grand finale card did not need any ribbon that I can think of. We may change our minds later. So all of these cards have a little something special to them, a little bit of bling. We've got some silver. We've got, what else we have here? I'm trying to think of what else we have. We have gold. We have silver and gold. What more do you need, right? Silver and gold. And then looking at my card kits here, oh, this one right here is going to have something fun in it too. This is going to have a little bit of glimmer, right? So the fancy the fancy Christmas cards, you know, you just need a little bit of something on there to make them awesome. And we're going to start with the green card today. You may be surprised that Shy Shamrock makes a beautiful Christmas card. I don't know if you're surprised or not, but it does. It makes a beautiful Christmas card. Hi, Amy. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so awesome. Hi, Linda. Good to see you guys on. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, I got to go back over to my space here, and we're going to talk about what comes in your card kit. Now, these card kits this week are really going to be super simple, easy peasy. If you're a beginner stamper, really all you're going to need is you're going to be set up here. You're going to have some really great stuff. We've got some Shy Shamrock. This is actually glimmer paper from the In Colors as well. I am sending you this beautiful embossed piece. This is the most gorgeous embossing folder right now, and it is, here it is in all its glory. There's actually 3 trees on here. I focused on getting these 2 right here into this card kit, and I'll share with you why in a minute. But this embossing folder is called Painted Trees 3D embossing folder. I absolutely love it. Let me show you the card so you can ooh and ah with me here for a second. So this is our card right here. So we've got the Shy Shamrock, we've got the Painted Trees embossing in the background. You're going to see here that you're getting some deckled rectangles, and you're getting some glimmer paper. You are going to get this little piece that you can die cut with the labels if you have the set. If you want to get the set, you can do it, and if not, choose another die that you have to make a little label here. And then we're going to work on the Christmas tree here. Now, besides the Christmas labels bundle, which I mentioned we would be using today, right? I'm also using stamp sets that are on sale. One of them is the Merriest Trees. I used this last year. I did an entire card class on this. This is still in the annual catalog. It's a carryover, and it's on sale, 15% off. Now, this is not a bundle any longer. You can still get the dies if you wanted the dies. And then you get this is a great time to get those bundles that are unbundled. You can get the stamp set on sale, you can get the dies separately, and then you're saving a little bit, right? So we are going to actually be working on a tree here. And let me see. Oh, I already pulled my die off. I know where my die is. It's right here. So this is going to be where we're going to stamp this little green tree. Now, as I talked about earlier, what I want you to think about is any tree. Do you have a tree at home that you could put on this card right here in this spot? So you're looking at something that's going to kind of fit into this space. Any kind of Christmas tree, you can pop that on there. And if you don't have a Christmas tree and you don't want to put a Christmas tree on, actually you don't even have to. Now I'm going to find a little piece of scrap because I need to do a whole bunch of blending today. We're going to get really inky. I have been so inky today. Not even funny. So let me grab out a scrap paper so we can get going. So you can see here that I've got some green on these trees, which are very lovely. And if you don't want to sponge them and leave them white, you can do that too. So this is how you would build your card. You could cut this down if you didn't want that to be quite so big. But this is kind of how this goes on here. And then your label would go here, your die cut sentiment, and a tree if you want the tree. So you've got a really great bones to this kit. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to sponge up some things. The inks that I'm going to be using today are Shy Shamrock and Shaded Spruce. These are very friendly colors together. Absolutely, I love these colors together actually. So we're going to bring in our blending brush first, and we're going to darken down this deckled rectangle that comes in your kit. So you don't even have to have those. You can just get those here in your kit, and you're going to have things that you can work with right away. So this is a really juicy ink pad. It's a brand new In Color, and I have a lot of, it's very heavy on ink right now. So every time I use this up, I'm like, this is good. I'm getting a little bit of this off of here. So you can see that I have sponged all 4 of the edges here, which is going to give us a deeper color than our card base. Let me bring our card base back in. So we have that the differentiating colors there. Even though we're using the same color cardstock, it changes it up every time you ink the edges, and I love inking the edges. Now please notice that I did not go back into my, I'm going to very gently and softly do my trees, because you don't need a lot of ink to do this. You don't want a lot of ink to do this. If you have on too much ink, it's going to make it really, really hard to just hit those embossed edges without having an entire piece of cardstock that looks green, right? So we're just going to go ahead and kind of do up the greens here just like that, just really softly. Hopefully you can see that. And I love the soft color, the soft green that's on here. I just think that is so beautiful. All right, so we are going to put this one away for right now. And let me move that out of the way. And we're going to put this on here. So we've got our card base, looking for my adhesive. And I'm just going to go ahead and put some of these things together here so I can move them around. And we're going to get to our tree section. So trees on trees on trees. I love the Christmas trees. So here you go. I mean, really, I don't know if there's anything prettier. I don't know. You really don't even have to add more to this. I did, but you don't have to. I'm going to put this glimmer paper down so we can have, again, that little bit of shiny, glimmery. I'm going to bring this up maybe a little bit from my original. I noticed after I got all my cards put together today, and today, I'm not lying, this card class is on Monday, October 7th at 8 p.m. on the East Coast. And I finished this card class on Monday at 8 p.m. on the East Coast, Eastern time. And as I mentioned, fly by the seat of my pants, I'm definitely always doing that. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit higher because I felt like everything was a little bit lower than I wanted it to be, but then it was glued together and I was moving on. So we have these beautiful items. We're going to stamp our tree. Now, as mentioned, this is the Merriest Tree stamp set. It is on sale and you can substitute in any tree, absolutely any tree that you want to. So this is Shy Shamrock ink and Shy Shamrock cardstock. And I'm really focusing on the first 4 layers. I don't know if you remember this or not, but this one has layers and you could basically die cut and make your tree 5 tiers, 4 tiers, or 3 tiers, I believe is what we had. So we're going to just focus on the 4 tiers here. So there we go. We've got some tone on tone. We've got a big messy block here that I'm going to have to clean up later. Let me put this one away. I think we're done with Shy Shamrock ink. And we're going to bring in our friend Shaded Spruce. Now, Shaded Spruce, I'm saying friend Shaded Spruce because it goes beautifully with Shy Shamrock, if you didn't know that or not. This is the detailed stamps. This is 2-step stamping. And we're going to focus on, if you can see here, each of these has kind of like a tier here. And we're going to make sure that each of these little tiers on here go inside the ones that we already have here. So it kind of gives it that edging right in the middle. So you can see here the tone on tone. And while we have this out, actually, you have a piece of cardstock in your kit, which I may or may not have buried right here. And I chose to do the die that looks like this one, right? So you're going to die cut this and then stamp it, or stamp it and die cut it, however you like. I always die cut and then stamp, especially with photopolymer stamps. So this is what it's going to look like after you've die cut it. And we're going to stamp Peace on Earth, and we're stamping this in the Shaded Spruce. So we're getting those green tones. I like to do a darker tone for the sentiment because it shows up so much nicer, right? So there's our little Peace on Earth, just like that. Now, if you just get this stamp set that's on sale, these Merriest Trees, or maybe you already have it because you bought it last year, right? It's going to go perfectly here. I actually, fun fact, I actually fussy cut this because I didn't actually know where my dies were. I kind of had to find them. So if you have the dies, you can die cut this. If you want to fussy cut it, you can fussy cut it. So you want to just get the stamp set that's on sale, go for it. Since I found my dies, let's do a quick die cutting because I feel like I've already worked a lot today, and die cutting things is so much easier than fussy cutting. So I'm going to just line this up here and see if there's much of a difference actually from my fussy cutting. Now the fussy cutting, I didn't try to be perfect because I have green cardstock and I have green ink, so it kind of all blended well together. Let me move this back over here. And we're going to take a look at how we did, and move this so we can see too. All of these things on my desk. We're going to bring in Shaded Spruce one more time, and I should have a sponge dauber here somewhere. Here is my Shaded Spruce. Yes, that's it. Okay, I want the tree. We're going to just go ahead and come through here and add a little bit of ink darkening down. And this is where if you fussy cut it and it's not perfect, or you die cut it and it's not perfect, you can cover up the edges with a little bit of ink and no one is ever going to know. Not even you. If you looked at this months down the road, you're not going to remember that you didn't maybe do a perfect job, and that's okay. So here you can see the difference between having that kind of darkened down on the edges. I really like the way that that looks. Okay, so we're on to final assembly here for our very first card. So let's go ahead and finish this up. I don't know if my I probably should have put tear and tape on the back of my glitter because it is kind of a bigger, bulkier piece. But if that continues to be a problem, I will take that off and start over. So we're going to just go ahead and adhere together our deckled rectangles. And if you wanted to stamp just on this, you could just stamp on this white one and put this together as well. So there's lots of options here. I love that there's lots of options. We're going to go ahead and bump this up with some dimensionals. And this card is so Christmas pretty. And I think that when we look for Christmas card greens, we always look at garden green. We look at shaded spruce, which there is some shaded spruce here, but if shaded spruce is too dark for you and garden green is too brown, it's got kind of a brown tone to it, right? If those aren't quite the right colors, take a look at Shy Shamrock. It's a little bit more of a kind of a subtle color for sure, but you can see here how cute this is going to look here as we put our tree onto this card. And we've got those great embossed trees shaded in the background. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop this on here. This is perfect for this size deckled rectangle, this little 4-tier Christmas tree. I love me a Christmas tree. All right, so Peace on Earth is going to come over here. We're going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on one side only. I'm going to do 2. And then we're going to add a little bit of glue here on this side where it's going to hit the Christmas tree. So as mentioned, there's lots of sentiments in this stamp set, and there's some that would fit on here besides Peace on Earth, right? I showed you 3, but I feel like you could play with a few other ones that fit into the stamp set like this, or the die cut like this. I feel like these 2 die cuts are pretty interchangeable. I mean, you could even use this one if you wanted to, but I did want to use just kind of highlight one of each of the dies for my cards tonight. As mentioned earlier, in case you're just tuning in, this ribbon right here, this beautiful sheer ribbon with the white and silver, is so gorgeous to work with. This is your free gift this week with your $50 order in my online store using my host code. This offer expires at end of day on Friday. But if you do happen to squeak in an order over the weekend and you want this class, just message me and let me know that you want this particular class, but you didn't quite get that order in before midnight on Friday, and that's okay, completely understand. So we're going to put this right here. The nice thing about this sheer ribbon is we can actually cover over our sentiment just a little bit. We don't have to be as careful because you can kind of see through it. So this is our first card, Peace on Earth, which is really pretty, and I actually like this version up a little bit higher. This one's a little bit low to me, so I like this version better. This one is probably the one that I'm going to take some pictures of and send them out in your emails this week. I'll be sharing this on Facebook as well, talking about our cards as we go. So there's card number 1. I'm going to clear this down real quick. We're going to get ready to jump into card number 2, and I hope that you're thinking about what Christmas tree stamps you have at home. Hi, Jackie. Let me see who else is here. Kelly likes Mary's trees. That's awesome. Thanks for loving this one. Yeah, Mary's trees. I'm so glad this one's still around because I love the pine trees. But so I always look to see what do I have already that goes with something new, like this embossing folder, totally new, have to have it. But maybe we have some trees that we could use to pop in here. So there is our first card from the card class. Now we're going to jump into card number 2 here, and we're going to get a little blue. Okay, so we're going a little blue next. I gotta not hide my cards so I can find them later. So this card kit is blue, and the first thing I hope you're thinking about when I talk about a blue card, silver of course looks beautiful with blue, but also we have the snowflake, the snowfall sky 3D embossing folder. So you're getting this one here. You're getting some boho and some Night of Navy. These are your going to be your die pieces. You've got a little, this is the Stylish Shapes banners. I love these Stylish Shapes. That's the banner on that one. And for this card, if I can find it, here we go, coming right over, Winter Wishes. So this is the one that looks similar to when I was playing. This was the stamp that I had put onto this label. So you'll be die cutting 2 labels for this one actually. And if not using the Christmas labels, then definitely using something else. So you can absolutely do whichever one you prefer. All right, so let me squeak these out of the way. Those are my messy stamps. And let's put together the bones of this card. Now, before we do this, this is another stamp sale mention. Snowflakes. sparkling snowflakes. This is still available from last year. So this is a stamp set on sale through Wednesday night, 15% off if you still need some snowflakes. Maybe you have these snowflakes. Maybe you have other snowflakes. I used a snowflake on this card because we needed some snowflakes. Now you may be looking at this going, where's the snowflakes? I hope you can see this border right here on the outside of our card base. And if you can't, let's check out the back. This is where I practice sometimes. So if you ever get a card from me, flip it over. I might have practiced on the back a little bit. So I went around all 4 edges with a snowflake stamp, just to do that tone-on-tone boho blue, and that kind of gives us a really cute look and a layup for the rest of our card. Now I didn't need any of the dies that go with this because I was just using the stamp, but I wanted to share with you that this stamp set is on sale, 15% off through Wednesday night. So make sure you're getting your orders in if you're interested in that stamp sale. So I grabbed one of my favorite snowflake really from that stamp set. We're doing tone-on-tone, so I've got boho blue ink and my card base. And we're basically going to just ink this up, and we're going to go around, and we're going to stamp. So here's stamp number 1, right? So now I want you to see that I'm going to come around, and I'm going to kind of rotate this a little bit because it's got these cute little points here that you can mix and match in, so you're getting all of that good stuff on there. That one didn't quite come out right. So I really have to focus on, because there's layers here, I have to focus on the card base more so than the paper behind it. So I'm trying to stamp on the card base, and it's a thicker layer. So if you misfire like this one is, it's basically because you're stamping more on your paper rather than the card base. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, try this at home and then you'll know. So you definitely want to push your stamp forward into your card base to get a good image. So we're just going to continue to go around all 4 edges, almost done. And at the end, they are going to overlap a little bit. I'll just sneak in a little bit here. We don't need to have too much of it. And then I'm going to come back up here where it just doesn't quite fit as beautifully as I wanted to. And I'm just going to restamp that. And that's going to be good. Now, if you don't like it, you can flip it over and do this side. As mentioned, that's how I did my first one, right? So a little bit of practice is fine. You can absolutely do that. There's actually a couple of places you can continue. You can open up, flip it around, and start all over again. The inside will be lovely, right? So this is the bones of our card. We've got that stamped. We're going to bring in our Night of Navy and our embossed piece, and we're going to go ahead and glue these together. Now, if you didn't want to do that background stamping with a snowflake stamp, you don't have to. You could have left that just plain, and it would still be really lovely. So I'm going to show you what it would look like if you left it plain. It would look like this. So you can see here that that's still a really nice card base. Lots of blues in the white, but I like that little bit of extra snow falling all around the 4 corners. So we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that I've already stamped that, and we're going to put this together just like this. So an easy peasy card class, depending on what you want to do with all these parts and pieces. I'm going to get rid of that scrap paper, make sure you can see this card. Now here is a piece of Winter Meadow DSP. Depending on what you get, you may choose to leave this side up. As you can see, that is really lovely. I did use this kind of blue frosty pattern on my card, but again, if you like to, if you know, depending on which side of this paper you get, maybe we want to use that. I'm not really sure. We're going to put this over top of it too. So I might think about that for a minute while we talk about these 2 pieces that are in your card kit. Now these 2 pieces are designed to be die cut with this bigger label die. And when you get done, you're going to have one in blue and one in white. So you can see here, blue and white. Magic of television, right? We've got them all set here, so we didn't have to die cut them. Now these have really intricate pieces. I think I popped all of mine out. That's why I was late, by the way. I was late starting the class. But these little pieces, you're definitely going to want to take your pokey end of your pick tool, and you're going to have to be poking some of these because they are kind of fidgety fussy. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp on the white one, as you can see right here, and we're going to use Night of Navy ink, so it's nice and dark. We have a Night of Navy layer on our card base, so it's very an easy blend to put in the Night of Navy ink. So Winter Wishes is going on this white label right here, and again, it's going to slant a little bit. You can see the slants coming up this way, so slant your stamp set, and there it is, Winter Wishes, just like that. Now we're going to do a little magic with some scissors. move some of my stuff aside and hopefully I can find my scissors. Yes, here they are. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of snipping here. Not too much. We just have to snip this end and this end. So we're taking these off. You could save this for another project if you wanted to. And we're going to snip here and right here. Now most of this is already cut across for you because it's got that, it's where you would add in ribbon if you wanted to. So this Winter Wishes is just going to come right down here on top of our boho blue. Monday. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and pop this on here. So you can do two-tone, and I think they show a sample of this in the catalog as well. So you can do two different colors. So you can stamp one and put that behind the next. And I forgot to blend down my edges. So we're gonna get really tricky here for a second. And we're gonna blend down the edges. We're gonna live dangerously. I meant to do this. This is boho, and I think I had a blending brush. So we're gonna try really carefully to not make too much of a mess, but I wanna kind of hit the top of my label here and add a little bit of extra blue in here. So we're gonna just very, very carefully, I think I swiped a little bit there on the bottom of the white, but that's okay. So we're just going to add a little bit of ink. I would recommend you do that part before you put down your white layer. It just probably would be less challenging. But if you like a challenge, be like Julie and forget things. Then you can just challenge yourself. And it's all good. It's all good. It's all fun in paper crafting, right? So here it is, Winter Wishes. It looks super cute. Two pieces put together, and I just want to do a quick dry fit because I'm not sure, maybe I want some of this designer series paper here instead. It's very white if I do that. I don't know if I'm quite going, I think I'm going to have to put the blue piece down. I'm not quite feeling the whole white, too much white. So I'm going to just pop this down on here, and we're going to put this also maybe up a little bit higher than my first one. We're going to see if this class is called higher or lower. Which one do you like better? We're not playing The Price is Right, but higher or lower is an option because they're very generic, easygoing cards. You got some silver foil here, just a peak of silver, and it matches our ribbon beautifully. It just gives a little bit of richness. So Christmas cards really need that little bit of oomph. Now this is, it says Winter Wishes, right? It doesn't say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, any of those things, but it is just a really sweet card that you can use however you want during the winter season. So we're going to grab all these dimensionals off. I was very generous with my dimensionals here, and we're going to go ahead and pop this into the center of our banner right about there. Okay, now we're going to bring in our beautiful ribbon. As soon as I find it, we're bringing in our beautiful ribbon. Here it is. Okay, so we're just going to make a bow. Of course, you can do other things with this ribbon too if you want to. You can kind of loop them through some of these great banner die cuts, or label die cuts, I should say. You can create some swooshing patterns if you want to. I just went all bows today. For some reason, I was just feeling the bows. I think we need just one more trim there. And that's going to go on there. It's a very pretty card for sure. I love the blues together. So boho blue is an in color from last year. It is a 23-25 in color. That means 25 is coming up, you guys, in like 6 months. This color is going to be like pretty much retired. So let's enjoy some boho while we can, because I really like this nice shade of blue. Here's our Winter Wishes card. Now, if you have some embellishments at home, you could definitely add them on as well. But it's got that little shine to it. It's just really pretty. So again, I went just a little bit higher on this card than the original, and I actually like this better. I feel like the higher card is winning today. High hand is winning. So we're just going to keep playing cards here. We've got 2 in, and we're going to jump into our next card. I'm going to just check comments really quickly to make sure I'm still good. You can see and hear me. And Jess says, oh, Jess, I love it. Not that I love that you're like sad that you don't get Christmas cards done in time, but you end up using winter themed cards in the new year. I love that. That is so awesome. Okay, we're going to jump into card number 3. Hi, Lois. I saw you jump on here real quick. We're jumping into the next card, and we're getting into the reds now. So now it's time to do a little bit of red type themed cards, right? Christmassy reds. And I brought in some Mossy Meadow for this one. So it's got kind of an antiqued Victorian, old-fashioned look to it. I actually love this a lot. I could wallpaper my kitchen with this. And if you're not really sure if you like that, maybe you want to go in a whole different direction, there are some really cute stockings on the opposite side. I love when I can bring you a card class where you have complete options here. Complete options. Probably should show you the card. As we get going here, we are doing a very elegant Merry Christmas with some poinsettia flowers. Now you may be wondering, where did these flowers come from? There are 0 poinsettia flowers in the fall mini catalog, which I am a little bit disappointed about. I'm going to mention that because I love the flowers. Now this comes from Rustic Crate, another stamp set that's on sale, 15% off through Wednesday. So these are the poinsettia flowers right here, and we are putting them on this card. Now if you don't have the stamp set, not buying the stamp set, but maybe you have poinsettias already, maybe you have a stamp set with them, you can pop this on. It's just coming right here on these die cut circles. These are the stylish shapes. I love them. So if you have a flower, a Christmas flower that's going to fit on here, you are good to go. You can pop that flower on. I don't know if you can see or not, but I used Wink of Stella on mine for that little bit of glitzy glam. So again, glitzy glam, that's our thing here, glitzy glam. So we have the stamp set on sale, the dies, the matching dies, Rustic Crate dies. I did grab out the die that will die cut the poinsettia. The dies are not on sale. This is not a bundle, so if you wanted this, you would buy the stamp set on sale. You could get the dies separately, and you're still saving money. So I love that part. This is your card kit, so you kind of see the bones here. Actually, let's put a few things together. Before we do, though, I want to mention that I'm probably using my favorite sentiment piece, my favorite label here. Poinsettia flower. Here we go. Cherry Cobbler ink. Did I have a scrap paper somewhere? We're bringing in my scrap again because we are probably going to stamp off the edge of this card base. So today is all about stamping on the card base. I go through these like fads, I guess, maybe. Like I do something and I'm like, yes, and then I keep doing it for the entire class. So this class is a lot about stamping on the card bases. I want to mention that. So our poinsettia flower is going to come right down here in the corner at the bottom, just like this. That's all and I don't know if you can see it here on my first card. This is going to dry a little bit lighter, but it's right down here in this corner. It's super, super cute. My first thought was to stamp it all the way up to the top and have this whole thing be flowers all the way up to the top. So that's an option. If you like that option, try it at home. But after I did one and I stopped, I just really liked it that it was just one and that I stopped. So let me put this on here. These little stockings are so stinking cute too, and it makes me kind of sad to cover them up, but again, I love the green. So we're using the green mossy meadow here in this Victorian like paper. And if you're wondering where this paper comes from, this is a carryover DSP. It's called Traditions of St. Nick. I used it last week in my card class, and we used a piece that had all kinds of candy treats and gingerbread men and little hot cocoa cups. Hot cocoa alert, the sentiment in the stamp set right here, the Christmas labels, which I buried somewhere, has a hot cocoa sentiment, and that's been kind of the draw. It's a hot cocoa day. A lot of people are loving that there's a hot cocoa sentiment in here. So this is the bones of your card right here, right? So you got some good things going on. We've got these circles, which I'm just going to glue together and put on my card. Now you could stamp on this white die cut circle if you wanted to, rather than add something to it. You could stamp directly on it, pop it on your card. You really have a great card kit started here. I try to make them pretty easy for you to just grab, do quickly, and have fun. Take care of maybe a need that you have for a particular card, or if you love this class and you get the card recipes with it by email PDF, maybe you save the recipe because you want to use the same layout over and over again to create different cards. I'm going to pop this on here just like about right here so you can see it. This is all in your card kit. You also have these two pieces left over for your card kit. Now this one right here is going to be for your die cut label, which I already die cut. So we would be die cutting the label that looks like this, the swirly label, which is just really cool. Love this one. Okay, so I've already die cut that, so we can put that paper aside. And now you've got this red. Now this is real red, this is Cherry Cobbler. And I like to use both of them on a card when I want some darker and lighter tones. It's kind of like using the Stampin' Blends where you get darker and lighter tones. I'm going to go ahead and stamp those poinsettias in cherry cobbler ink. So I'm using a darker ink onto my cardstock here. And because I have the die, we're going to go ahead and die cut it really quickly. If you don't have the dies, you could fussy cut this if you just get the stamp set because it's on sale, as mentioned. I like to keep mentioning that because I want you to remember you gotta save money. Christmas is coming. There's so many things, right? So we're going to go ahead and line this up on here and put this die through with the machine here. Ooh, my machine's getting a little squeaky. I think it maybe needed a little love and attention. So here is our poinsettia. So you can go ahead and pretty much do the same thing that we did earlier. I'm going to bring in, again, the cherry cobbler ink and a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to darken down the edges of my little flowers here. Kind of covers up that line if I didn't line things up well with my die. Do this a lot. This is like one of my secret hacks. Cover it up with ink. No one will know. Hide the evidence. Okay, so here's my little flower. So you can see it's just beautiful, just like that. And I did add Wink of Stella. So I did add, this is the Wink of Stella. And Wink of Stella is something that you might want to grab. Shake it up a little bit. You might want to grab this as you get going into your Christmas cards because this is something that just adds so much. Snowflakes, Christmas trees, all the good stuff, right? It just adds that little bit of shiny glitter. It can also be used a little bit to blend some colors together of your ink. If your ink is wet and you use it, it'll blend your ink a little bit. It's just really pretty. And it's not on back order right now. This thing is very frequently on back order, so grab that Stella while you're shopping. All right, we're going to put this on our card. Isn't that gorgeous like that? We haven't even stamped our sentiment yet. To find it first. Cherry cobbler ink one more time. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. I love it. So one stamp, as you can see here, one stamp on the block is going to stamp this, and it's going to give us all of the proper placement. This is why I mentioned earlier in my live, in case you missed it, that I hope that the die set sticks around and that Stampin' Up comes up with some generic sentiments that are placed perfectly that we can use going forward into other seasons. So you can see here how cute that is. Merry Christmas to you. It just lines up perfectly. It's photopolymer, so it's really easy to see through that as well. And again, all of these have those slits in them, so you can scoop some ribbon through there if you want to. But we're going to go ahead and put the rest of this card together. So our little poinsettias here are going to go right on here. And these are, while they're still layers, I love layers. I love details, right? They're not overly complicated. You're not using big pieces of designer series paper. These are 2-inch strips, so you get more value out of your 12 by 12s. Even if you had a 6 by 6, right? You have a little bit of paper, you have a few elements, but it's not super crazy. And that way you can make Christmas cards in bulk. I think that I put this on dimensionals. I did. I had to look. Sometimes I forget. Okay, so we've got a couple of dimensionals coming on here. I'm going to flip this over one more time. We're going to put them on this side because this side right here is where they're going to be. This side over here is going to kind of fall off the edge a little bit of my circles, so I don't need to worry so much about putting a dimensional right there. So we're good there. I'm going to pop those on there. And this is going to come right over here. Merry Christmas to you. I love it. And next we just need to add our ribbon. So this one's almost identical. Look at that. And not really a hard card to make by any means, but it's very elegant. I really like these colors together too. So here is just another little bow with this beautiful ribbon. And when you have this ribbon at home, you can be as generous as you want with how much ribbon you use to make a bow. Like you can make ginormous bows if you want to. I'm not sending you the ribbon, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, Julie only sent me this much ribbon. I wanted to make a bigger bow. This ribbon will be your gift this week. So I love when you can have this ribbon. This ribbon, by the way, goes with everything. It goes with everything. And it's just fancy too. So there it is. Card number 3. Oh my goodness. Card number 3 is in the books. Merry Christmas to you. I really like this one. Really like this one. This one might be my favorite so far. So hopefully you're enjoying this class. You're seeing how these labels work with pretty much any Christmas card, any theme that you want. You can swap in products that you already have at home for these card kits. Absolutely. It's going to be so easy this week. I'm trying to make it super easy for you at home to love these cards as much as I do. I'm going to check comments one more time and have a sip of water. And let's see. Beautiful blue card. Thanks, Jess. Kelly, this is a fantastic bundle. Now's probably a good time to mention it's on low inventory. I don't know why. I get something going and then it goes on low inventory. So Jess says she could see a happy birthday in place of the Christmas sentiment. Absolutely. Yeah, this is really versatile. And this is a great red Christmas card. We're going to do one more red Christmas. We're on to the grand finale already, you guys. We're banging this one out. This is kind of an easier class. So I guess I'm like a little bit ahead of schedule tonight, which is great. This last class, this last card, I should say, this last card for this class is probably my absolute favorite of the class, and it really doesn't hardly have any stamping, and it's a complete you've got this in the bag card kit. This is going to be so simple. I don't know if you can tell or not what we're making here. We've got a couple of black buttons. We have a little pocket here, some gold as mentioned. We have a few little fun things here. Let me bring in this card. I am just so stinking excited about this card. I cannot wait for you guys to check it out. This one I'm calling Santa Suit. It's pretty much made for you, ready to go. So I hope you can see that Santa's gold buckle here. He's got this gold belt buckle. He's got this almost engraved believe in his belt buckle. But wait, there's more. Besides all of the fancy stuff going on, he's got this little kerchief pocket right here. And in his little kerchief pocket, he has a little note that says, believe. Like, this is my favorite. This one makes me so happy. So this is a great card to give if you have kids at home. If you have grandkids, this would be a really cute one to hand out, obviously. And if you are a kid at heart like me, Santa, all about Santa, this is just a really fun card, and a lot of these things are done for you. So let's put this one together and check it out. You're getting a white card base to start with. You've got this beautiful black layer. You're going to get this plaid real red, which is made Santa's suit. He's wearing plaid today. He's got like a little bit of a plaid tweed thing going on. But before we put this on here, I do want to darken down this cardstock because it looks so much better when we darken down cardstock. So I'm going to bring in real red. I'm going to bring in my blending brush, and I hope you guys are loving Santa Suit as much as I am, because this is just so stinking cute, in my opinion. I hope that I'm not the only one that thinks so. And these are all original Julie ideas. I did not copy or case this from anybody. This is just something that I came up with here. I wanted to do a Santa Suit, and then I was looking through my embossing folders to see, okay, what can I use? Santa Suit has been done in the past, but with different embossing folders and different kind of themes. And I added the pocket. I am so excited about the little pocket. So that is something that is just, I came up with, and the pocket was kind of a last minute add-on. I wasn't sure I was going to do the pocket. So I'm going to actually show you where I was going before the pocket. So I've got that red ink on there, which really adds a lot to this cardstock. I feel like the ink, when you add the ink on, it brings cardstock to life. It's like putting Frosty the Snowman's hat on him and he comes to life. That's what I think those extra sponged edges do to cardstock. It makes it lively. So I love ink. I have ink all over me all the time, but it's great to have inky fingers, right? So we're going to go ahead and put this onto our card base. I just want to make sure it's opening in the right direction. And we're going to come down through here and add this on. So the black is very helpful here. It just kind of anchors everything for us. And here we go. So this is your bones of your card kit, right? I'm just going to dry fit a couple things and show you. If you didn't want to use the pocket, you could put Santa's. Let's talk about the embossing folders for just a second. I wanted to share with you that if I can find my supplies, I use the Forever Plaid for Santa's jacket, right? So this is the Forever Plaid embossing folder. I use the Birchwood 3D embossing folder for Santa's fur. So if you turn it this way and you look at this piece of white, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not, but it's got like kind of like running edges up and down. I thought made it look like a little bit fur-like, right? So the fur of Santa's coat can kind of, if you didn't want the pocket, could come like this. You could do Santa's belt here. You could put your couple of buttons right in the center here. I'm trying to find the other button here. I'm just running through a dry fit here for you, kind of show you. You could center this if you prefer to. I did die cut. You have a piece of gold foil. In your card kit, I die cut this label. This is what we're going to heat emboss here. So you could do one just like this if you didn't want to put the pocket. And maybe you want the pocket on the inside. It is a mini pocket. This is coming die cut for you, and it is from the Mini Pocket Dies, which I had somewhere in my craft room also. I feel like I just don't know where my stuff is. Miscombobulation galore. But there is a die set. I can't find that right now. But there is a die set in the annual catalog. It's called Mini Pockets, I believe. I could be wrong. You're getting a piece of this. This is, oh my gosh, so cute. This is coming to you die cut, so you don't have to have this. It's got perforations in it, so you can kind of see here, or scored lines, I should say. When it's die cut, it comes just like this. So you're going to fold this over. Now, if you really like whatever is on the back side, like this cute little reindeer, and you want to put the pocket like this, feel free to change it up. I can't guarantee which section of this paper you're going to end up with. So I can't guarantee that it will be a perfect little reindeer, but that is really stinking cute. And I think I'm gonna have to change it up this time just because it's so perfectly positioned here. So when you put this together, you'll just glue down these. Actually, I shouldn't do that quite yet. I'm not ready, but jumping ahead, this card just really excites me. So I did die cut this. You would have to die cut it home with this label right here. So it's gonna fit here on your gold foil, just like so. I die cut that ahead so we could have that done. We're gonna do some heat embossing. We can heat emboss on our foil. So this is gonna be gold foil, gold heat embossing. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. This is going to be our other believe. We have two believes to stamp. We have one in red and we have one in Versamark. So let me bring this all in so we can get going here. We're going to use our emboss buddy here on the gold. Yes, you still want to use this for sure. When we stamp up our believe and then get going here with our ink, I'm going to just bring in everything now so I have it right here. You want to have your powder ready, and that way you can immediately get this heat set. So the believe is going to get inked up here in Versamark. Don't know if you can see that part or not. I'll move forward here a little bit. So make sure you get a nice little amount of Versamark. The foil is sticky. The foil is slippery. Let's go with slippery. Foil is slippery. So when you put this down on here, don't squiggle too much or you're going to have a really squiggly believe. You actually have to be very specific about stamping down, not moving it, not squiggling it too much, right? I feel like there's always a little squiggle there, and then grabbing that and bringing it right back up again. So I believe I did a pretty good job. I do have a little paintbrush in my space here that I use if I need to like brush up some of that excess powder off of there. But there we go. Let me close up my Versamark. I like to keep that nicely contained. We're going to go ahead and turn on the heat setting tool, and I hope you guys are enjoying this one so far. Okay, so now that we've got this heated up, I'm going to bring this in so you can hopefully see a little bit of the powder here on there. And we're just going to heat set this just until it turns shiny. So as you go, you can kind of watch it in the way that you lift it here. And I think we're good. There we go. Okay, let me turn that off. So you can see that my foil paper curved with the heat. So you just have to let that relax a little bit, cool down. It'll be perfectly fine. But you can do, kind of tone on tone. So it looks kind of like that believe is just kind of etched into his belt buckle there. I just thought that was a really clever way to do that. Now, while I have this believe out, I'm going to grab the real red, and we're going to go ahead and stamp our little pocket message, if you will. Believe fits on there perfectly, and it fits in the pocket perfectly too, which I thought was super cute. Okay, let me set that aside. We're just going to pretty much put this together now. So we've already started it. How I figured out where to put the layers and how far over to go is basically I dry fit this white fur And I made sure that my belt buckle, hopefully you guys can see this, I made sure that my belt buckle fit on my, if I were to pick this up and bring this forward, fit here. I wanted to I want the belt buckle to be in the middle of the white. So I'm pretty much making sure that if I pull this down off my card base, I know where this white layer should go. And you can leave either side of this up too. You can just choose whichever side you want to be kind of facing up. So again, we're going to just use this belt buckle that's off to the side here and pop that on. We're going to pop Santa's black belt across this way. So he's coming down here. I'm going to maybe bring that up just a little bit, right about there, I think. Let me make sure we're squiggling side to side here. Get that on there. Room here for the pocket. Super cute. All right, so for the pocket, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put down some glue here. This takes a bit to set, so I probably tear and tape would be a good choice. So this is going to come down here right about here. I'm going to hold that for a second and let that kind of set on the card. This is where your bone folder comes in handy too, because you want to make sure you can still get the little pocket note in there. So while you're working where the glue is going to set, you can kind of give it a little bit of room. So we can sneak our little believe in here. Look at that. So cute, right? All right, these are just going to go on with dimensionals, and these are from the Stylish Shapes dies, in case you're wondering. You want to make sure you're looking at these for the pretty side up so that you put the dimensionals right here on the back. And on my first card, I used the black dimensionals. I just had these out, so I grabbed them quickly. But black dimensionals work really nicely on here too, because you're putting on this black cardstock. So there's our little buttons. Next, we're going to move on to the belt buckle. We're just going to center that on there. Just like that. How cute is that? Excuse me. I feel like I'm getting a tickly throat. So we're going to look at our cards here quickly and wrap up the class. So we've got the cute little reindeer pocket. I hope you like the reindeer, but if not, you've got plaid here too. So there's our Believe card. Santa suit. More red. We've got the Christmas poinsettias. The winter blues here with the snowflakes. And let me make sure everything's in camera here so you can see them all. And the Christmas tree. Would love to know which one is your absolute favorite from this class. Please remember you're getting one each of the 4 cards when you order with me this week. And I'm going to come over and look at your messages real quick. Hopefully you're loving it. Kathy likes the belt buckle. You guys are liking the belt buckle. That's so cool. Engraved, right? Isn't that awesome? I came up with that. I'm so proud of myself. Santa suit for the win, Jess says. Kathy likes the Christmas tree. I love the greens on that Christmas tree too. So I think I saw a question here from Karen. What if you took the whipped cream from More Than Autumn and had it coming down from the top to be Santa's beard? Karen, that is such a sweet idea. I like it a lot. I really like that idea. Absolutely. So awesome. I love how creative you guys are. Thanks for checking this out. Oh my gosh, I am so happy you love this card class. Now, again, this card class was all about the Christmas labels bundle, but look what we did with sentiments and die cuts. We made the cutest cards, and there are way more ideas out there with this Christmas labels. Now, I want to caution you that the Christmas labels, again, is on low inventory, so it may sell out this week, sadly. But it should be back. It's in the mini catalog. I'm hoping that the dies stick around. I'm hoping a new stamp set comes out to fit in them. I would love that so much. But again, great value for this stamp set. Don't forget the stamp sale, right? So the stamp sale goes on through Wednesday night. So you can get 15% off the annual catalog stamp. So it's a great time to go through them and check to see which ones you like. Use my host code. It's 99Q9KQEC. If you're on my email newsletter, you're going to get some reminders this week about the card class, about the stamp sale, about the host code. $40 order gets you the 4 card kits in the mail. $50 order gets you the card kits plus the ribbon that I used as an embellishment. But feel free to use whatever embellishments you choose to. Continue to let me know which one's your favorite. I absolutely think this was a really adorable class. We are an hour in, just where I like to be. Kathy. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, checking out the cards, cheering me on, and also just sharing and loving this video. That is really helpful to me as well. So until next time, I hear a cat scratching at my door right now. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.